In the repair shop today, Brenton's metal is tested as it repairs a tarnished keepsake with a theatrical past.
Silver melts at quite a low temperature, and once it's red hot, it's too late, it's gone.
While Will sinks his teeth into the Lilliputian mechanics of an antique oddity.
If it's too short, the drawer won't open, and if it's too slack, then it's going to be wagging all over the place.
But first, a cherished toy that's been delighting generations of children for over 80 years. Brian Adams is hoping master of all things two-wheeled Tim Gunn can restore this rusty relic to its former glory.
How we doing?
Hello, very well, thank you.
You all right? I'm Jay.
Hello, Jay. Nice to see you.
Hello. Hello,
Hi,
Brian.
good to see you.
Oh, we've got a little scooter.
I've got a little scooter.
Tell us about this.
Well, I was fortunate enough to inherit it from my father.
OK.
I think he acquired it probably as a birthday or a Christmas present from his parents.
Yeah. Right.
And I would say around about 1936.
1936?
1936, yeah.
Wow, that's an old scooter.
His father was a serving officer in the Metropolitan Police, serving out at Bow Street Police Station.
OK.
He lived in a block of flats, and all of those families that were living in them were police families.
Right.
It was a quadrangle, and they all used to come down and play. But he had something a bit special, which was this scooter, and his sort of claim to fame was racing it across Blackfriars Bridge and then back across Southwark Bridge.
He was riding it across the bridge?
Was, yeah.
Really?
You wouldn't imagine kids doing that nowadays, would you?
No, but it's a bit dangerous, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't think his mum knew all about what was going on, but this is what he told me in later life.
Right.
Anyway, he was one of 1.5 million women, children and vulnerable adults that were evacuated at the start of the Second World War. And then his mother and father saved enough money and bought a house in Suffolk which actually backed onto an active aerodrome. And the active aerodrome meant that they probably saw more action there than they would have done had they stayed in London. There was many occasions where he used the scooter to get from the house to the bottom of the garden.
Oh, so he took the scooter with him?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, he wasn't going to leave that behind.
OK, right.
He used the scooter to get to the bottom of the garden because just over the fence were these big sandbag bays, and the runway was more or less at the bottom of the garden. So they saw the planes coming in and coming out, yeah.
So, Brian, what's your earliest memories of this scooter then?
I would say probably when I was about 5 or 6. My sister Hilary, she's 3.5 years older than me. She used to ride it. We both had a lot of fun on it. And then as we grew up, the scooter stayed with my father in his garage.
Oh, he wouldn't let go of it?
He wouldn't let go. Our children were allowed to play on it when they went there.
Right.
But he didn't let it go. So when he died 2 years ago, it was in a state like that in the garage.
I can see it's been painted at some point. Would you like it to be repainted as well?
I'd love it to be repainted. I think it was a sort of a dark RAF blue originally.
OK.
Yeah.
So when's the last time this was working then, or anybody's used it?
Oh, probably 40 years ago.
40 years ago?
Yeah.
So what would you like Tim to do to it?
Well, I'd like it brought back to life so that it can be used.
What, you're going to use it, are you?
I'm not going to use it, but I want my grandchildren to be able to use it. And then I can tell them the story of their grandfather, their great-grandfather.
Yeah.
It is a family heirloom. It's only a toy, really, but nevertheless, for us, it evokes memories of, you know, the past and their childhood as well.
Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant, Brian. Thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you.
Diamond.
Nice to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
OK.
See what we can do.
The scooter in its current condition is rather sad, really. There's not many toys that last the test of time, and that's one of them. Seeing our own grandchildren playing on it now will make us feel quite nostalgic, because every time I see the scooter, it does remind me of my father, and I think it'll give us the opportunity to tell them the story of his boyhood and his childhood and what he went through, and hopefully that will make them appreciate how fortunate they are in their lives.
Got a lot of work to do on this one.
Yeah.
Even though it's a little scooter, there's a lot.
Yeah, well, the wheels need rebuilding. We need new tyres. I quite like the fact that it may have been blue originally.
Yeah. And this board?
Yeah, we might get Will to have a look at that if
Okay.
possible.
Right.
And then the paintwork, hopefully, if we can get Dom to help out with that, that would be great.
All right.
I'll start stripping it, and then we'll go from there.
Nice one, Tim.
Thank you. Basically, we just got to pull it apart, see what we're left with. I've never worked on anything like this before, actually. I'm normally bicycles, penny farthings, racing bikes. For me, this is actually quite nice. Just cleaning it up, I can see reference to the blue that Brian referred to. So he was right, and it was painted blue underneath. So, Dom, could you come over and have a look?
You're right.
Yeah. What do you reckon to this?
Well, you've got
it's
it
the original blue paint.
That's fantastic. So obviously, before this gets sandblasted, we should match that blue for sure.
Yeah, if we can, that'd be great.
I do like this bit. It's a bit like an archaeological
well, it's
dig,
like
isn't it?
archaeology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely blue. It's almost like a
Not that one.
bit green, isn't it?
Is that it? No.
No.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that one.
that one maybe.
That's quite good, isn't it? That's the one,
Yeah,
509.
I
Yeah.
think,
I think that's good.
I think that's not far out.
Bearing in mind that's filthy and old.
It's been there since 1935, so
That would look really smart. That's going to look really. What about the wheels? Are they going to be blue?
if we can do them the same colour.
Sure.
Well, thanks so much, Dom.
Hey,
That's
no problem.
Ace. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these off.
Strip all that paint off. Can't wait to see it. Nice one.
Excellent.
But the scooter isn't the only metal item requiring Dom's attention today. The next visitor brings a touch of showbiz glamour to the barn. Dee Rance is hoping Dom, along with Silversmith Brenton West, can restore some star quality.
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Nice to
Brenton.
meet you. Hi.
Dom, nice to see you. What have you brought along today?
An original powder compact.
So I see this says to Lucy as a token of appreciation from Fred Karno.
It was my Aunt Lucy's
Okay.
for her pantomime of Cinderella in 1911 to 1912
And so is this was a gift from
from Fred Karno,
Fred Karno.
to Aunt Lucy.
Fred Karno was a legendary comedy impresario on the London music hall circuit in the 1890s. Known as the father of slapstick, his most notable protégés include Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton and Stan Laurel.
So she was involved in one of his theatre.
Quite a lot of his.
Really?
She was his leading lady for a little while. But Lucy was my Uncle Jack's first wife.
Okay.
But she died very young. He went on to marry my grandmother.
Okay.
And Uncle Jack was Charlie Chaplin's stand-in when he
Really?
was in the UK.
That's amazing,
Isn't that
it?
incredible?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That-
very cool.
He was lovely. He was a real gentleman. Yeah.
So what is your earliest memory of this box?
When I was 7, I was given it to play with. But at the time, I didn't realise it was silver. I didn't realise it would dent so easily.
Okay.
So I'm afraid that's mine. And then one of my cats knocked it off the shelf. Yeah, I know, it's pretty battered.
A strong cat, 'cause this is really
Well,
heavy.
no, it came from quite a height. Yeah, hence the dent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brenton?
I think, how am I going to get into the bottom of there?
So let's.
I'm not sure whether the bottom can come off at all.
Let's hope so.
So there's a bit of broken mirror in there, I
Yeah,
guess.
that was in
would be
the
in the
top.
lid.
The mirror's the least of our worries.
Is it? This must symbolise quite a lot for you, with so many memories attached to it.
Yeah, my childhood.
Is it?
The best part of my childhood.
Oh,
Yeah, because Nan and Jack were wonderful.
it's just important we try and sort it out for you, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah. It'll be on total display once hopefully,
Yeah.
it's fixed.
Well, thank you for bringing it in, and I'll be in contact.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to chat. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Mixed feelings about leaving the powder box. It means such a lot to me that, yeah, it's difficult to leave it behind.
This is far too delicate for me to go anywhere near. I mean, I don't know how you're going to get those dents out without... I mean, I would just use a hammer and dolly and hit it, but then obviously with this engraving...
I will have to be really careful with the engraving, and the process will be complicated, but I think I can get the dents out. But the first thing I'm going to do is to polish this.
OK.
I can't see through this tarnish because there could be a great big crack in it that I can't see. So I really have got a lot to do.
Yeah. Good luck.
OK, thanks.
All right.
OK. So this is just a standard silver polish. I'm being quite gentle in the middle where the engraving is. I'm just basically getting the cleaning compound on there, but I'm not really pushing hard. This engraving actually is in really good condition. I can see the edges are quite sharp on it. I do like it when someone brings me something to repair and they haven't cleaned it. And I have had things brought to me before where they say it's so black it can't be silver. And underneath that tarnish is this. It's just, yeah, it's a little treat for me.
As Brenton sets about making the box gleam again, Tim is hoping woodwork virtuoso Will Kirk can lend a hand with the scooter.
Hello, Will.
Hey, Tim.
Looking for some help with this. This is the pedal or the footboard off of Brian's scooter.
Ah, the scooter.
And it's got a little bit of a split here, which is quite fragile. And that's where the frame goes through it. So if that can be strengthened in some way, that would be brilliant.
OK, leave it with me.
Excellent. Brilliant. Thanks.
No worries.
As Will gets to work on the footboard, Tim can take a spin at the 80-year-old wheels.
We've got all the original spokes, which have got a few twists and a few bends in them. They're all covered in white paint. So what I'm going to do is have a go at starting to clean them. Saves elbow grease. And you can see that that spoke adjuster there is coming up brass. It's going to look quite nice. 2 down, 30 to go.
This nasty split at the front needs to be dealt with. The wood is quite thin and is susceptible in the future to splitting out again. I think what I'll do is I'm going to carve out that nasty split there, splice in a new bit of wood and shave it back in to match. So I've got a piece of walnuts. The plan is to use my chisel and a mallet to chop down the lines that I've just marked out here, lower the surface, and then glue and clamp on the new piece of wood. Once that's dried, I can shape it all in to match the surrounding areas.
With the rusty frame stripped and prepped, Dom's expert painting skills are in demand.
Dom, hey Tim, can you give me a hand? If you could have a go at painting it for us.
Yeah.
Once the rims are painted, I can build the wheels. If I can leave that with you, that'd be great.
Yeah, no problem at all. Nice.
Cheers.
This is what I'm going to be now repainting the scooter in for Tim. It's a really good match to the original. It's such a beautiful colour. I think it's going to look absolutely brilliant.
The hub flanges where the spokes go actually fell off when I took the wheels apart, so I've got all of those prepped, and basically what I've got to do is solder these hub flanges back on. I've got this, which is basically solder paste, and all you got to do is just put some heat over the surface once you've assembled it, and it will just sweat the solder into the joint and hopefully make it into a proper solid joint. So that's the plan. I don't want to get it too hot because solder basically melts at a very low point. It starts to go from a grey colour more of a silver colour. I think that's got it now. I just need to let it cool off, and then I can clean them up, and then I can build the wheels.
Got this gorgeous gold, metallic gold enamel paint, which I'm going to use to put a really nice, delicate, thin pinstripe around up this sort of head tube on this scooter. It's really nice to be doing some pinstriping, especially when it goes as well as this. It really finishes off the scooter. Can't wait to see it all together now. Perfect. Here you go, Tim. It's a nice colour, isn't it?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is that what you're hoping for?
That's come out really, really well.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, it's going to look great.
Brilliant. Well, over to you now.
Excellent. Thank you. So the next stage now is to rebuild the wheels. Because it's such a small wheel, it's really, really tricky to actually get all the spokes in at the same time. But that's starting to come together really well. The wheel is now assembled with all the spokes, the rim, the hub. The problem now is that, as you can see, it's all a bit wibbly wobbly. So what I've got to do is I've got to tighten all the spokes up. I can then true the wheel to make it nice and level. Given the condition of the original wheel when it first came in, that's come out really well. That's ready for some tyres now. There we go. That's one wheel done. Just need to do the other one.
Next to call upon the repair shop's expertise, Martin Day from Hertfordshire. He's got a tiny assignment for woodwork heavyweight Will.
Hi there.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Good to meet you.
I'm Jay.
Hello, Jay. Pleased to meet you.
I'm Will.
Will, you too.
So what's in the box then?
So in the box is this little fella. He's a bottle stopper in a few pieces.
Right. A bottle stopper, yeah?
Yeah. It was my grandfather's. This little chap, he used to sit in the bottle of something called grenadine in the front room. And when he was all in one piece, he used to do something that I found quite magical, really. The mouth was shut, and when you pulled his lever down, up would go his arm, the mouth would open, he'd drink from it, and you put it down, it would stop again.
It is quite something, isn't it? I can see that as a child, seeing that, be quite fun.
It's not the prettiest of things, but it's a really interesting thing, and it's got a lot of history in it.
So where did your granddad get this from then?
We think Belgium.
Right.
He went over to Belgium in the war. He was 17 when war broke out, First World War, and was a sergeant major, training the other soldiers.
He must have been a bit of a character, though. 17, training people.
Absolutely, yeah. He really took to the place and used to go and visit with my grandma quite a lot. Brought back a few bits and pieces. This was one of them.
So where does this stop take you back to?
My grandfather died quite young. I was about 4. But this takes me back to my grandfather more than anything, and it's really the sort of the main memory that I have of him. I can remember he used to sit in the chair and smoke a pipe, and I used to sit there for hours in the front room, just sort of playing with him. I was allowed to. I just remember thinking that this little chap had so much life. I think that's what fascinated me, the fact it seemed to be real.
And it is,
It just takes me back to his house and to him. When my grandma died, I was asked if I wanted a keepsake from the house, and this is what I chose. So it stayed with me for, I don't know, best part of 50 years or so.
So when you got it, was it all in one piece or was it in 3 pieces?
It was all in one piece, yeah.
OK, so did you continue to play with it then?
I probably did, yeah. And,
probably, you must have.
It must have been me. I don't really know when it broke. The elastics probably just perished over the years, and things have fallen off. You can see that it's all faded.
He's looking rouge around the nose and the cheeks, so he's been on the bottle for quite a while.
Yeah, that's a good point. And all those little features have gone missing because as the paint's faded over the years.
Yeah. See what we could do. Thank you.
Good.
Bringing it in.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
no problem.
Can't wait.
Yeah. You
Thanks.
take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Although it's just a bottle stopper, it's something small made out of wood. To me, it's got all those memories of my grandma and grandpa. It was something that was animated and had lots of life in it, and that's just gone. So hopefully we'll be able to put that back into it.
So what's the problem with it?
Many things.
Okay.
Broken arm, broken bottle, looks really dull and should look quite bright. The mouth doesn't move, so I think that maybe that elastic band there has perished. So there's lots of bits to be doing.
Okay.
Lots of stuff to be doing. I better get on with it.
Yeah. All right.
Cheers. At first glance, you can't really see where the elasticated thread begins and ends. But if you look underneath the jaw, you can see a tiny hole there, and on the top of the hat, there's another hole there. And I think that's where the thread feeds through the head, and there'll be tension there. So once that's glued in place, the jaw appears shut. Then there's a piece of thread that goes there, which you can go like that. That thread there will go from the chin through the neck and at the back. So when you pull the lever, it pulls the string and it opens and closes. As well as doing that, the arm will then move up in sync with the jaw, and it appears that he's drinking from his bottle. This elasticated thread has lost its elasticity, so I need to excavate what's left and replace it with some new thread. Come to Papa.
With the silver powder box cleaned up, Brenton's been able to assess the damage, but getting access to the dents is no easy task.
I'm going to have a look at getting the base off and getting the top off so that I can remove the dents. So this base in here is possibly wood with some sort of paper over the top of it. I'm going to try and save it if I can, just for the integrity of the item. It's actually a piece of lead, and you can see that when I scratch it, it goes shiny. So the reason they've used lead is it's nice and soft, easy to poke into here. It's compliant, it bends, and it's heavy. This is incredibly thin silver, but with this lump of lead in the bottom, when you pick it up, you go, this is a good item, and look, it's solid silver. So it would appear to be more valuable than it is, and you could charge more money for it. And that's why the dents have occurred so easily, because this is so thin. And Dee is not to blame for bending it, because anybody who leant on it would bend it. And this is just ordinary plaster there. I'm just going to take this all out of here now, I think. So now I've got this out of here, I'm going to try with my chasing punches to knock this dent out. So the dent is coming out slowly, and I might get a bigger hammer. Silversmiths have lots of different hammers for different processes. This is a planishing hammer, this is a chasing hammer. Got a big head on here so you don't miss this little tiny punch. These tools I've had for 40 years or so, and they'll do another couple of generations before they're not going to wear out. You just carry on using them. I bought them brand new and they're still working well.
The bottom edge dent is vanquished, but the ones in the lid need a gentler approach.
I can see in here that someone's had a go at repairing it. This metal is really, really hard. If I push this dent out, which is quite easy with my thumb, you'll see that it just pops straight back in again. It's age hardened, it's been machine hardened, and it sort of bounces. It's got no malleability to it, so I need to anneal this which softens the metal and makes it easier for me to work. So I'm just painting a flux paste on here, and this prevents what's called fire stain. Now normally you wouldn't worry too much about it, heating this up once to anneal it, but in this stage I don't want to get any fire stain on this because I don't want to have to polish this aggressively because I don't want to lose any of this lovely engraving.
But that's not the only risk.
Silver melts at quite a low temperature and it's very, very easy to melt it. And once it's red hot, it's too late, it's gone. So I have to be really careful. I've annealed this silver lid. Hopefully it will be malleable and I will be able to ease these dents out of it. I've got a little burnishing tool here which is highly polished, and from the inside I'm going to just try and push the dents out. So I'm just going to have a look at the other side and see how that's looking. And already it's looking a lot better. The dents are coming out nicely. Quite pleased with this.
It's been a team effort to restore the components of the 1930s toy scooter.
We've now got everything painted. The wheels are built, brand new tyres. The paint has come out brilliantly. Dom's done a fantastic job of that. Will's done a fantastic job of the woodwork. He's kept a lovely sort of patina to it. But all it needs now is putting back together. I'm hoping that all the bits actually go back together properly, because there's lots of people that have helped out with this. Really pleased with that. The last thing to fit really is the bell. Right, that's it now, finished. It's come together beautifully. It's ready to go back to Brian, and hopefully he's going to be really, really chuffed with it.
The scooter originally belonged to Brian's father, who doggedly held onto it when his family were evacuated during the war. Having provided many happy memories for 3 generations of the Adams family, Brian has now returned with the next lucky owner.
This is Freya, my granddaughter. We're here today to collect the scooter, and we're very interested to know what it's turned out like.
I'm hoping to see the scooter repaired better.
I'm feeling slightly apprehensive about being back here today, but also very excited about what we might see.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there.
I'm Dom. Good
Hello,
to see
Dom.
you.
I'm Brian. Nice to see you.
Hello,
Hello,
Brian.
Tim. Lovely to
Good to
see you again. This is Freya.
Freya.
Hello,
nice
Freya.
to meet you.
Hello.
Excited?
Very excited.
What are you hoping that Tim's been able to do?
Well, we're very much hoping that it's now going to be able to be used.
So you haven't been on it yet?
No.
Should we let them see?
Yeah, should we do it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on then.
Look at that. That is absolutely superb. That really is. And I think it's probably back to the condition it was in when my father had it. That actually means a lot, because that was Father's favourite toy as a youngster. I think he'd be looking down with a little bit of a smile on his face.
What do you think?
Very nice, and it was all red and rusty here, and now it's all coloured back again.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the blue?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the colour it was. I mean, I don't know whether you chipped down and found the colour,
Well,
did you?
yeah.
But
Underneath one of the little clips here,
Yeah.
I found the original colour.
Ah, did you? And the wheels, I mean, they look like the new spokes in there, are they?
They're not. They're the
Are they?
original spokes that were put in 1935, and I managed to rebuild both wheels with
The original spokes?
the original spokes, yeah.
Good job.
You've made a magnificent job. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah,
Really grateful
It's
to
been
you.
a pleasure to work on.
Great.
You look like you're itching to get hold of it, to have a go on it. Are you excited?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come
okay.
on then. Let's
Come
take
on,
it outside.
Okay, all right, brilliant.
I've got your helmet.
Oh, there we are.
Right.
Let's go.
Give it a go then. Brilliant.
She's done that before.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, she's a natural, isn't she?
She's a natural. Here she comes.
Well done, yeah.
Did take me right back to, you know, when I was a child, but I think more so a better connection with my dad as well, to be able to get it restored to that sort of standard as for him really as much as for us. I think I might have a secret go on it when they're not there, but I'll have to go very, very careful and make sure I don't break it. That'll bring back some wonderful memories for me too. Lovely.
She's off, look.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
As a very satisfied customer journeys happily home, Will is working on the little bottle stop with the big personality.
Yeah, there we are. Oh. Oh, lovely. That's so satisfying to pull out. Now to take out this last piece. Almost feel like a dentist here, taking out a rotten tooth. Come on, mister. Oh, doesn't want to move. That plug on the top came out relatively easily, but this bottom one is made of a softer timber. I'm trying to pick that out. It sort of just breaks away. I don't want to give this cheeky chappy a root canal, but I might have to get the drill out. Come on, mate, play ball. There we are. That. I think he's going to make a full recovery.
Will threads new elastic through the holes and seals it into place with a fresh wooden plug in the top of the head.
Now this is the tricky part. I need to plug the bottom jaw at the right length, because if it's too short, the jaw won't open, and if it's too slack, then it's going to be wagging all over the place. Push that back in. Lovely.
Next, Will attaches a second thread, so the bottle stopper's arm and mouth will move simultaneously.
Now that that's through, that should open and close the mouth.
With the jaw now moving freely, the bottle stopper man can now wet his whistle, providing Will can repair his broken arm.
You can see here where Martin has tried to glue this wine bottle back on before, and it's failed. And that's because that is the weakest point on the arm. So I'm going to make a splint and put it in the middle to keep that from breaking again. That is how it's supposed to move. Lovely. Now he's back in drinking form. I can finally spruce up the paintwork. I'm just repainting the Cheeky Chappie's jacket. It used to be blue, and now it's faded so much that you can actually see quite a lot of the wood coming through. Martin remembered seeing this originally as quite a vivid blue colour, so I'm trying to get that colour back onto its body, back to how Martin remembered it when he first saw it as a child.
On the opposite workbench, Brenton is putting the sparkle back into the century-old powder box with the showbiz connections.
So I've got all of the dents out of this now, and I've polished it up, and it's now ready to have a mirror fitted in it.
With all the components of the powder box now spick and span, Brenton begins its reassembly, starting with refilling the base with plaster of Paris.
So when that's set, I can put this piece of lead back in, and then I'm going to put the original paper back on there, rather than putting a new base on it. So this will be quite a nice thing to put back on. And that is just going to go back on there like it was before.
When the treasured powder box arrived at the repair shop, it was blighted with dents and the surface hidden beneath decades of tarnish. But with gleaming silver now restored, it's ready to take centre stage for Dee once more.
Hello, Dee.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing, Dee?
How are you?
You all right?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
Fine, thank you.
So, what are you hoping to see underneath the blanket?
Something resembling what it should look like. Shiny,
Okay.
no dents. Fingers crossed for... Yeah.
Shall we show?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to do this. Oh. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good.
Oh. May I look at it?
Of course.
Oh, the mirror. Oh, I didn't think you'd be able to get that back into it. Oh, I don't want to touch it now. It's going to be... No. I'm going to make it dirty. Oh.
Is this how you remember it?
No, it wasn't as good as that.
You've done well.
He's done absolute marvels.
So what are you going to do with it now, then?
Oh, that'll go in pride of place on top of the mantel. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, let's let you get this home. You got a box?
I've got another box here.
Okay. There you go. Thank you for bringing it in.
Thank you very much for
Nice.
what you've done.
This year,
Thank
man.
you
I really
so
enjoyed
much.
doing it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dee.
She's happy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Well done, you.
It's not dented, it's not black, it's beautiful. Miracles do happen, and there's certainly been one performed in there.
Almost ready to pop a celebratory cork of his own, Will is putting the finishing touches on the cheeky wee bottle stopper.
Well, I really find this painting therapeutic. In your mind's eye, you've already got an idea of how something is supposed to look and how it will look. And you almost sort of switch off, then your subconscious mind just takes over. The more time I spend looking at his cheeky little face, I'm really worried that I don't actually want to give this back to Martin. I'm really warming to him.
When the Belgian bottle stopper came into the repair shop, it was broken into 3 pieces, and the poor chap on top hadn't had a tipple for years. But Will's managed to get him back on drinking form, ready for owner Martin to collect him.
The bottle stopper is really important to me because it's the first memory I really have of my grandfather, and kind of the last as well. It was what I kept when he died, so that was my memento of him.
How are we doing, Martin?
Hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Hi, Martin. Nice to see you again. Hi.
You too.
You look excited and happy.
I am. I'm wondering what's under here. Yeah.
What are you hoping to see underneath here, then?
I'm hoping to see somebody brought back to life. He's been in a box in pieces for quite a long time, and seeing him move again, alive again, would be quite exciting. How did it go?
Well, should we find out?
Proof is in the pudding, anyway. We'll see.
Okay.
Wow. That is amazing. That is incredible. I'm amazed.
He looks quite dapper now, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
The colour of his coat and his tie. He looks like he's ready for a night out on the town, doesn't he? Back to his normal tricks. Yeah. Fantastic.
And he still has the rosy red nose and cheeks.
Yeah, you can see his personality.
He's a cheeky chappy, isn't he?
The face is fantastic. It's just absolutely there. I'm not sure he looks like my grandfather, but that's who I'm seeing. Yeah, yeah. Shall I go for it?
Go for it.
Oh, man, look at that. Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. He's got his mojo back.
Yeah. Well done.
Oh, that is just... That's incredible. I can remember just doing this, it feels like for hours and hours, but, you know, just... It kind of surprised me every time it happened that it just worked. Oh, that's fantastic.
So what are you going to do with him now, then?
He's going to do what he always used to do. be in the lounge on display in the favourite tipple, not grenadine this time, but
Right.
a bottle of single malt.
Martin, thank you for bringing him in.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
It's a pleasure.
That's
An absolute
absolutely
pleasure.
marvellous. Thank you.
You take care now.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
It was just great being reunited with the bottle stopper. It took me right back to my childhood, back there in my grandparents' house, playing with this little bottle stopper that used to give me such great entertainment. It was a real special family memory.